Welcome back, guys. This is T, and I'm just with Bernice again because with the last interview I got a couple questions, private questions about her weight loss journey, and I was asked to see if she could give another interview about, more about her personal journey rather than the surgery. So I'll just start off because everybody knows who you are. I'll talk about you a bit, but so one of the questions I got asked was how you got to the size that you were.
When I was a very small child, I wouldn't eat at all, and I was very, very underweight and anemic and ill. And my mother put me on weight loss pills so that by the time I was about 8 or 9, I was already a morbidly obese child because she didn't stop. And I went to stealing food, and that's part of the triggers. That was part of the mental triggers of food issues coming in.
Right.
Got my weight pretty much under control through high school, but by 14 I was not in a safe situation and was removed from home. I won't go into that too much, but basically I spent 2 years where I didn't know where my next meal was coming from, and there was a lot of again, weird food issues coming in with. If I get hungry, I go crazy. There's mental health issues with me and my relationship to food. Got very, very skinny. I think what did I do? Gloria Marshall. She's not around anymore. It's like Jenny Craig kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Got very, very thin in my early 20s. I was down to smaller than a size 8.
Wow.
Went to university, gave up eating food, drank every day. I would just sit and study.
So you kind of got a different disorder.
Well, yeah, I didn't think I could get into university. I had no confidence in myself to do it for lots of reasons, and went in as a mature age student and was so fixated that I had to be the best student that had ever existed, and I had to have a high distinction every time. So day after day, all I do was sit, study, and drink Coca-Cola. And I got to the point where I would drink 6 litres of Coca-Cola a day, not eat, don't sleep, just piss and study. And I went from a size 8 to a size 28. No, actually I went up higher. I was probably in a
From
30s.
just drinking Coke.
6 litres of Coke.
Oh.
And not moving, not exercising.
Oh.
So I've gone from being very active, and I'm a very hyper,
Right.
I'm a hyper person, down to study, didn't know I had ADHD. That was my way of dealing with ADHD. And drinking Coke, eating whatever crap would come around, but just probably about 5,000 or 6,000 calories of Coca-Cola a day.
Alright.
And that would give me the energy to keep studying all day and all night. And then I would have been in the high 30s, size-wise.
Right.
So I actually had to take a holiday to America to buy clothes because I couldn't
Shit.
get clothes that size in
What
Australia.
weight were you reckon? You were?
Never weighed myself.
Oh, okay.
Never weighed myself, but I know I was bigger than a 28, because I was quite happy at one point when I was finally able to get back down into my size 28 jeans. Joined a gym, lost a lot of weight again. In fact, I lost like 30 kilos in a couple of months because finally my body was like, yes, move! God damn it. Then I injured my spine. Then I didn't move for a very long time. Then I had a cancer diagnosis, and I was working 2 jobs. I lost one, and I didn't realise it at the time, but that was boom depression.
Right.
So the cancer was really, really minor, but I heard the C word, lost the job, lost my ability to walk around, basically made a conscious decision to kill myself by eating myself to death.
Right.
So my daily routine would be to get out of bed and go and lay on the couch and sleep all day, and then eat whatever I found. I could eat a whole family-sized pizza, get back up, go back to bed. So at that point I was probably around 22, size 22, 24 again. What saved my life at that point, now this would have been 2009, is I got a card in the post. You've been selected for a free week at your local ladies' gym. And I thought, well, I'm no interest in going to the gym because I'm going to eat myself to death. But I do like things that are free. So I thought, I'll go for the week.
That's my middle name. That's why we get along.
It's free?
Free!
I don't want this at all,
It's
but
free.
it's free. So I went to my local ladies' gym, which turned out to be a very nice place. It was totally perfect for me. It was all the women who were in the gym were fat women and old mums and ladies with disabilities, and they used to get a van that would go to the old folks' home and get the really old ladies, and they'd be sitting like this on a chair, you know, oh, feel the burn, oh, that's enough. And they'd have a little gossip section and they'd lift their hands and feet while sitting. And I got on the treadmill and I wasn't running, of course, I was enormous. But I faffed around and I got my first runner's high, which I'd never experienced before. I don't know why anyone would ever want heroin, because this feeling, it's like you could feel your whole body having a long, slow, gentle orgasm that would come up over your whole body and last for 3 or 4 hours.
Wow, I've never had that, and I used to run 10k a day.
No, I haven't had it since. I had it for probably about 4 or 5 months, and that was enough for me to walk in and go to the gym. Yes, here's my money, I'm a member. Because I was so fat, I couldn't do a lot of the stuff, but I got onto the cross trainer, and I could take a book on the cross trainer. I got my Kindle, my music, and although I haven't had a runner's high like that now in probably more than 10 years, it then became my time, because my whole life is looking after other people. But you can't get to me when you're at the gym. You can't get to me, and you can't complain because I'm doing the right thing. You can't complain that I'm off wasting time or playing video games or watching TV. I'm doing the right thing, I'm at the gym. So I would go to the gym most days for 1 to 2 hours, just get on the cross trainer with my book, with my music, and have my own blissful, peaceful time. If you are a big person, I highly recommend the cross trainer because it's zero impact on your knees. I've had broken knees, broken ankles, broken back, and you have no impact. Whereas with a treadmill, it's thump, 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 thump.
What about a bike?
The bike is okay, but the 2 issues with that is, one, it's going to hurt your gynae bone, and you don't really lose a lot of weight with a bike.
Okay.
You don't build a lot of strength. It's okay. It's better than sitting on the couch. Anything that you do that you enjoy that will get you up off the couch and moving is a good thing. If that's just walking around the streets, if it's on a bike or whatever. But I think to be good, when you see those super physically fit bicyclists, quite often they've become fit to be bicyclists rather than become fit from the bike.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't mind the bike, but for a fatty, you're not going to get a great deal of result with the bike. The cross trainer, you can go fast or you can go slow, but for me, with all of my injuries and things, it was about building bigger and bigger resistance until I got very strong in the legs. Didn't lose a whole lot of weight because I was still not eating at a calorie deficit.
Right.
So my eating habit at that point was actually it wasn't too bad. I think by then I was around about an 18 to 20, so weight was,
Coming off slowly.
But my eating habit would be to eat healthy, eat lots of vegetables, eat a reasonable meal, totally maintenance, go out with my friends, have a pizza competition. I actually won eating competitions at restaurants. I was the person who would sit down and eat their entire body weight in hot chicken wings.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
people pay to see that, Bernice. You could have made money off that.
I made a lot of money doing that.
I follow this guy. His name's Matt Stoney.
Is he the beast or something?
He's this little Asian man.
And
he's the world eating. Sorry, yeah.
I'm not at his level.
Yeah, he's freaking amazing. I do not know how he eats that much food, because I'm sure it's more food than his body weight.
There was a restaurant in it's in Sydney, I can't remember what it's called, but they had a chicken wing eating night. My friends signed me up, and I'm like, you really think that I'm going to out-eat all those people? And they're like, yeah, they brought the beast over from Las Vegas. Show them how Australians can do it. And I'm like, I cannot out-compete a professional, but I do really, really love their chicken wings. Oh, you know, it was $200 to enter or something. I thought, you know, for $200 for all you can eat chicken wings, that's not bad. Okay, I'll do it. And I didn't have to pay it, my friends paid it, and I won.
You beat the beast.
I beat the beast, and then I finished up with a big slice of pecan pie because I was still hungry.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How much chicken wings was it? Do you remember?
Oh, about 20 plates.
Shit. Okay.
And I'm just enjoying myself.
This
This was not for me competitive eating. This was, this is a nice dinner. Nom, 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 nom. More blue cheese. Nom, 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 nom. So then I would go back to healthy eating. But the thing is, by that point, I jumped ahead again. So
you would yo-yo dieting kind of thing.
That's right.
So that's so snotty like. That's right.
That's right.
Going, gosh.
So I would jump ahead, gain the weight, and not lose it. You know, if I'd have balanced, if I understood CECO, you know, calories in, calories out, all the rest of it, I probably could have managed it. But then I'd just go back to healthy eating again afterwards. But yeah, I wasn't managing things well. So anyway, that's how I got, one of the many ways in which I got big.
So what was the breaking point for you? Was the gym membership, right?
No, I got my gym membership in 2008. I did lose weight in the beginning, but I, for 10 years, was going without losing weight.
So what was your breaking point to start the journey to where you are now, like the final push?
It wasn't anything in particular because there was actually no big push. This has actually happened, a series of accidents almost. In 2009 I went to a doctor because I had passed out, given myself concussion and didn't know why. And she basically said, it's probably your blood pressure, you're a walking stroke, you're 200 over 180, you're going to die. And I'm laughing, I'm like, oh, everybody dies. And she goes, tomorrow, maybe the day after, you have to understand you are going to have a stroke very, very soon. So I thought, better quit Coca-Cola then.
Oh my God.
So that was pretty much that was in the back of my head. I didn't do anything other than quit Coca-Cola. I didn't lose weight because I then replaced Coca-Cola with wine. Because I make smart decisions. Yeah.
And wine's good for you, especially red wine.
Red wine, yeah.
Red wine's good for you guys.
So I'll drink water and I'll drink wine. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the first time, but that was 2009, and that was always in the back of my head. Oh, I don't want to have a stroke, Death doesn't frighten me, but being helpless and having a stroke would be terrifying. I'll explain why now. A couple of years ago, my mother had a stroke, a series of strokes, major strokes, and she's been completely... She's in a nursing home. She's got nothing. She's got the partial use now of one hand. Everything else is paralysed, can't sit up. Mentally, she can't really tell the difference between fantasy and reality. She, like if she has a nightmare, that nightmare becomes her reality forever. So she'll sit there and she'll tell you, and they took us to the docks, and then it was dark, and the boats were there, and the bats were flying at us, and you'll hear that over and over and over again, because this dream that she had has become her reality. She can't clean herself, she can't feed herself, she can't even express to the doctors that she's soiled her diaper and needs to be cleaned. So, okay, stroke. If I can make it to 94 before this happens, maybe that's not so bad. So you're still making those excuses.
Okay, yeah. It's a mental game, eh?
It's a mental game because losing weight hurts. It's painful and it's hard. I'm not going to lie about it. But in this nursing home, there's a woman called, shall I use her real name? Let's call her...
May.
May. We'll call her May.
May. Yeah, mate.
I don't want to identify.
Talking about you, mate.
Yeah. She was the headmistress of a local school. strong, independent, intelligent woman. A year younger than me, I think. No, she's older than me. She'll be about 47, 48, something like that. So she's a bit older than me. Stroke. Obesity-related stroke. She's not quite as bad as my mother, but not a whole lot better. She's in an electric wheelchair. She has partial use of one hand, so she can wheel herself around. And she can say 4 things. Help, chocolate, wipe my bum, and lucky cat. And those are the only phrases. I mean, lucky cat has no relevance to anything, but she gets so frustrated she'll just start screaming it. She just screams in her frustration and her horror of her situation. So there's this woman who's not that much older than me, who's had the stroke, the obesity-related stroke, and they're going to take, this is still in the back of my mind, this doctor telling me you're going to have a stroke. She could live another 50 years like that. Being beautifully looked after in this nice little home.
But what kind of life is that?
Oh, God. And I'm looking at her going, kill me. And I actually went home and I said to Dad, look, if that does happen to me, please just smother me with a pillow. Just don't ever let that, And Dad said the same. He said, come in. He said, we can take care of this business. If this happens to either of us, don't let it go on.
So that was your breaking point in seeing, seeing your mum first and then seeing the other lady.
Wow, it could happen that young. So that happened. So I started trying and failing to lose weight. It suddenly, I got the scare. I wasn't doing very well, but I got the scare. But I was also in a hell of a lot of physical pain. I had a lot of pain all through here, to the point where I couldn't walk or breathe. And I would be stuck like this, and I couldn't actually draw breath. And it went on for a long time, so I figured, I'm a stupid fat bitch, because I hate self-talk all the time. I'm one of those people. Don't do that. Treat yourself better. But when I got to the point where I actually couldn't breathe, it went on for about 2 years of not being able to walk or breathe. And I would just be stuck for a long time, and I could not actually inflate my lungs. And I just thought, it's because I'm fat. Stupid fat bitch, I deserve it. Finally, I went to the doctor and he said, your cancer's back. Went to a specialist, he said, it's not cancer, it's something else. He sent me to another specialist. Turned out to have been an impact injury. The bottom of my diaphragm was quite badly damaged. I was infected internally, and the infection and leaking bodily fluids was actually causing serious injury that I had allowed to go on because that's how much I hated myself. So the final doctor, and it was quite funny, he said, are you in a car accident? Oh, been punched? He said, this is the kind of wound I would see from somebody who's been stabbed. And I went, no, I've got no memory of it whatsoever. And he was getting angrier and angrier with him, like I was lying. And I said that to a friend, and she said, he thinks you're a victim of domestic violence. And but I'm not. I don't know how I did it. No, I've had lots and lots of accidents. I've fallen off balconies and been in fights, and goodness knows what I've done.
Yeah, we won't go into that either.
Oh, yeah.
No.
And it could have been...
Found some really cool stuff out about the side this morning, but we won't go into that.
It could have been many years ago. It could have been something that was a very, very minor little tear from an impact that I hadn't looked after it, got infected, and so... So
how did you start then? How did you start, and how did you get motivated?
Doctor said, you're going to have full surgery to have this repaired. Emergency surgery. You've got 10 days. We're booking you in 10 days. You're dying.
Oh, shit.
You're so fat, he was very honest, we're going to have to do a full, I think it's a laparotomy. You're going to have to be completely opened up, and it'll be 3 months recovery. And I said, well, what if I was thinner? And he said, well, we could probably do it keyhole, and you'd be off work for a week. I said, well, I'll get thinner. And he said, you've got 10 days, you've got to lose at least 10 kilos, you can't do it. And I said, I'll do it. And I did it.
Shit, going from not motivated at all
to... you're gonna die.
Shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So how did you do it though? It was very unhealthy.
Diet shakes. Diet shakes work. Opti-Fast, Opti-Slim, Bondi. I like
But that
Bondi
wasn't with
Protein
no
Company.
food, eh? You were having
Diet
strictly
shake
just
for
shakes.
breakfast, diet shake for lunch, and dinner would be one very restricted vegan meal. So no potatoes, no peas, no corn, no beetroot, nothing.
Steamed veggies.
Yeah, so I could eat onions, mushrooms, green beans, spinach, silver beet, asparagus. Yeah. Favourite meal? A whole bunch of asparagus with some salt, fry it, eat it. Delicious. So I lost my 10 kilos. The doctor was amazed.
In 10 days,
In
guys.
10 days, lost 10 kilos in
days.
10 days. So yeah, diet shakes do work, but I'm not going to sit here and advocate for them because you know full well that you're not going to stick with it. I mean, if you can stick with it, that's how I, the Gloria Marshall, when I got so skinny, it was diet shakes. But that didn't last.
Yeah, you end up tending to put. I know everybody that I know who've gone on diet shakes have lost a lot of weight really fast, but they've gained all the weight plus some back. So
as soon as you put the diet shakes down, you're like, food!
Yeah. If you don't deal with it mentally, it just... Okay, anyway, sorry.
So I lost my 10 kilos and I thought, well, gosh, that was really easy. Recovery from the surgery turned out to be a lot harder than I thought it would be, and I didn't eat. I actually stuck with diet shakes for quite a while because it was easier than cooking. It was just for convenience sake at that point because I was pretty uncomfortable. It turned out to be a pretty major situation, and the acids and infections had caused quite a lot of issues inside. But anyway, all sorted out. And I thought, well, I'm going to stick with it. If I can lose this much weight this easily, and I knew I had done it before with the Gloria Marshall and the diet shakes, I will do it again. But I also knew that I couldn't stick with diet shakes for very long, so I started doing the ketosis diet. That lasted 2 weeks. So my weight loss was like this on the diet shakes, on the keto, up, down, up, down, up, down. But after 2 weeks, I got gout. It turns out if you go high protein, low calorie, you get gout. That hurts.
So that's not far from your keyhole surgery either, eh?
Oh, that was, I couldn't walk. Thankfully, my dad has gout, and he says just take some of my pills, and it fixed it. Pills are like magic. But that put me off keto. Now, I'm not running down keto because I know that works for a lot of people. If it works for you, excellent. Didn't work for me. Then I joined a community online. I don't know how I found it, but it's Reddit. We all know Reddit. Called Lose It. So it's the Reddit subscribe to LOSEIT, all one word. And they just do CECO, which is calories in, calories out. And it's really, really basic shit. Eat what you want, but keep your calories down. But I mean, that simplifies it too much. You don't necessarily eat what you want because the best way to put it is say...
And every calories are different in everything.
Yeah, say you want to... I would aim for 1,200 calories to lose weight. And you could eat a 1,200 calorie slice of cheesecake. And if you can eat nothing but a 1,200 calorie slice of cheesecake for the day, you'll lose weight. Yes. Can you?
No.
You're going to be hungry. So they actually take you through, the best food. I want to eat a lot. I always want to eat a lot. I want to eat huge, as you saw this morning.
Volumes.
I'm a volume eater.
That much.
No, I was being very slow and aware of just eat a little bit. Mindful. What does it taste like? Think about it. Don't just...
Mindful eating, guys. Mindful eating.
Oh, I suck at mindful eating. 2 years of practice, I still can't. So, big green vegetables. I grow a lot of vegetables in my garden. So, huge amounts of green vegetables. If I got to the point where I was regaining weight, I'd do diet shakes again for a few days. And it would just kick me back into goal. Then I started with the CECO. So I started I was 135 kilos. I should probably show you the chart on here at some point, because I've charted every step.
Maybe I can try and incorporate that somewhere in the video, maybe? We'll see how we go. Maybe.
Started at 135 kilos, and you can see, diet shakes, keto, Seco.
So what's the Seco diet then?
Stick to your calories.
Oh, calories in,
calories
out.
Calories
Sorry.
out. That's all it is.
You just said that.
Yeah, but it's a matter of it sounds easy, but then you've got to think, well, what nutrition do I need? And so I lost
proteins, carbs.
proteins, yeah. And I wanted to eat lots and lots of green vegetables. Thankfully, I love my green vegetables, so that's fine. So I could eat huge meals. I could eat the massive meals that I wanted, but it was going to be a big bowl of silver meat, a big bowl of cabbage, whatever. And you can still have your treats, but everything has to be tracked. And if you don't know this, there's MyFitnessPal. Have you told them about MyFitnessPal?
No. Yeah. So MyFitnessPal is an app you can download for free.
Yep.
And you just, when you sign in, you can sign in with Facebook, and you just put in your weight, your height, I think, and yeah, just check it out, guys. It's really helpful. You can also, there's a scanner on there, so you can scan everything, and it tells you how much of what, like say you get a packet of prunes, you scan the packet of prunes, it'll tell you that for one serving is 5 prunes. So it makes it really easy for you.
Yeah.
The only thing that I found with that is that it's just forgetting, because I would forget to, because you can every day you can put in a journal, diary entries, and put in all the foods that you've eaten that day, and it calculates it. But I would forget, so that's my major issue with it. I would forget, but that's purely my own. And then it also gives you, like when you've had your put in all your calories and stuff for the day, it'll estimate and say, you know, in 5 weeks, if you keep eating this way, you could be at this weight. So it does really help to push.
It's my, I hope to say it's my Bible, it's my obsession. Everything I eat. 1 black coffee, 5 calories, you know, everything. I mean, they've got it on my computer open, I'll have it open. It's the first thing that's open at work, it's the first thing that's open at home, it's on my phone. I track every single thing.
And it gives you reminders as well, but like I said, I would just forget.
Yeah, it's like, your goal is to stay under 45 grams of sugar. And I'm like, oh, that donut was probably a bad idea then. But that's got me to stick to my calories. I stuck to my 1,200 calories for about a year. And that's when I lost 60 kilos, something like that.
Wow.
I stuck to that religiously. So I lost my first 10 kilos for medical reasons. I lost my second 30 kilos because, hey, that was easy. Let's keep that going. When I was still at 135, I got to 98 and I thought, I haven't been running in 36 years. And my goal when I went to the gym was to finally learn how to run. I wonder if I can do it now. And I'd had a few attempts and I couldn't do it. Every time I'd run and then my lungs would shrink and I couldn't do it. So I downloaded a running app. Now the most popular one is called Zombies Run, with an exclamation mark. And the idea of that is you put it on your phone and it tells you the story. You're a carrier going through this post-apocalyptic wasteland and you're walking around with your bag of things that you have to deliver. Zombies! Run! And you have to outrun the zombies. And it starts off a little bit and goes. Now, I couldn't make that work because my phone is a piece of crap. But look, that is the most popular one and the one I would actually recommend because it's fun. And people have a good time. There's fan fiction for it. I mean, it's good.
But don't start when you're first starting out because...
No, get your weight down to like 98 kilos. I could do it at that point.
Because I was the same. I kind of did mine differently. Like I would run 1 power pole and walk 2.
It's the same kind of concept.
Yeah, so I would run 1 power pole, walk 2 power poles, run 1 power pole, walk 2 power poles. Then I think it only took me a week or 2 weeks, I was running like 3 power poles. Oh no, a week, and I was running 3 power poles, walking maybe 1 power pole, and I was doing like that. By I think
it's the same concept.
After a couple of weeks, and then after a couple of weeks, I think I was running up to 3K, and then I got up to 10K. I was running 10K every day, and I started doing it like from, I think I was doing an hour and 20 minutes to do 10K, and then I got it down to just under an hour, so like doing 58 minutes. So yeah, and I just started, and that was like within
the one I did was
4 months.
Boogie shoes. It's very important to me that everything's free.
Free!
So I downloaded off the internet something called Boogie Shoes by a woman called Lara, and it was just under music, and it's the same thing. Your first run, you walk for 90 seconds, then you run for 1 minute. Now, like I said, I hadn't been running in 36 years, and for me this was climbing Mount Everest. This was my indomitable mountain that I would never be able to do it. But I'll listen to the music. Maybe I'll find some good music. I'll just go for a walk listening to new music. Slowly talking myself into it. Because I know I can't run for a full minute. No, can't be done. Can't be done.
Yeah.
Can't do it. I've got broken knees, broken ankle, broken back. I'm still enormously fat. Went to my local dog park after dark so nobody could see me because I was so ashamed. It's like I have almost no before photos. I didn't let anyone see what I look like. So I go to the local dog park and put on the music. Now I know I can't run for a full minute, but I'll just listen to the music and walking for 90 seconds. Well, I can do that. I can't, and I'm in my work clothes and work boots, so there's no running clothes. Oh, we'll try. Ran. Holy bejeebus, I ran for a minute. So excited. Oh my God. And then you did that for 20 minutes, and then you walk for 90 seconds, and then run for a minute, walk for 90 seconds, run for a minute. And that goes on for 20 minutes, and I got through it. And by the end of it, my hair was standing completely on end, and I was red, and I was gasping, and I was so elated. It was so exciting.
So that might be another way of doing it. It's just like setting mini goals.
Mini goals.
Mini goals.
Mini goals, yes. And I did it for every day for a week, after dark in the dog park, no one watching. And then the next week, she goes, as you know, you only do this 3 times a week, and never 2 days in a row. And I'm like, I've just done it for 7. She didn't tell me that. She says, this week we're going to walk for a minute and run for 90 seconds. And again, I can't do it.
Yeah. So it just goes to show your mind.
It was my mind I was out running. Keep in mind, I had spent 10 years on a cross trainer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you were fitter than you thought you were.
I was,
as well.
but my mind was saying no. The next week, we're going to run for 3 minutes. Bitch! Doubled it! I can't run for 3 minutes! Ran for 3 minutes. Then it was 5 minutes.